Welcome to Apartment Syndication Made Easy podcast, where we simplify the world of syndication. Join us as we unravel the complexities and provide you with valuable insights to help you invest smartly. Get ready to take your investments to the next level, one episode at a time. Here's your host, Mr. Vinney Smiles Chopra.
Hi guys, this is Vinney Chopra back again with my Apartment Syndication Made Easy podcast. As you know, I started that many years. Today I'm a little bit hoarse with my getting the cold, so I appreciate that. And then my second book, which is getting a second edition of this one. And I'm really, really excited to have a great friend, Tiffany Rose, in the house. You're going to love her. You're going to love her. She's going to really, really talk so much great things. She's actually top 1% of the mortgage lenders and leading mortgage coach in USA. And she's changing the mortgage industry in a way that, I was just reading it here, viewed as empowering lenders, to really with more purpose and better processes. So she's just trying to eradicate the antiquated systems that have been there for such a long time and to make it smooth for the buyers, because they're buying the homes and commercial or residential loans, and the lenders, they have to interact with them. She's putting these beautiful, beautiful things together. And I wanted to have her come and hang out with me today. So, we're going to have so much fun. And the best thing I love out of all that was that she's designing this special systematic processes to create a 6 and 7 figure income. And 7 figure income. So that really got me going, anywhere from 500,000, 700, 900 to 7 figure, which is in millions. So thank you, Tiffany. Thanks for coming on the show. Tell us what's been happening with you lately. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's always an honor to be on your show. You are just one of the greatest human beings and a genius at what you do. And so it's always an honor. Absolutely love your book, Positivity Brings Profitability. I flip through it whenever I'm feeling kind of scared money don't make money. That's my favorite saying. So whenever I'm feeling weird about, should I make this investment, or what's my mindset around this project? How much is it going to cost me? I always flip to your book and go through it, because there is so many insane nuggets of information, truly, that are really mindset changing and finance changing, life changing, really. So thank you for that. I love that you brought up your book. So so I am, like you said, a top 1% mortgage lender. I'm offloading a lot of my business to my team, my branch now in Walnut Creek, California, focusing heavily on mortgage coaching because I am changing the industry and the way that realtors view lenders and the way that lenders chase agent realtors. And there's a lot of misconceptions in the market that we're almost like a necessary evil for each other. And that's because we're doing these old school way of thinking, and the reputations have been burnt because, lenders haven't shown up the best. So I'm recalibrating, for lack of better words, and changing the way that we show up so we can change the game for ourselves. This business should be fun. Real estate, as you know, should be fun. And it's so rewarding. Every single person needs or wants to have a roof over their head. It's not dog grooming business where you got to find the dog that needs to be cut a certain way, that doesn't shed, and all these things. Everybody needs financing for a house or needs to own more real estate. Would you agree?
100%, exactly.
How did I know you're going to say that?
The real estate is such a thing. Every inch, every square foot we can think of, whenever we open our eyes, somebody owns that land and somebody owns that building. Somebody owns commercial buildings, residential, everything, except for parks, of course, and other wildlife. So you're right. Everybody, and there is a shortage of housing in America. And the other part is, with the interest rate where it is now, our lender brokers need to be even more efficient. I'm just thinking, and they need your processes much more better to be interacting between the buyers and the lending institutions. The middle side is the lender broker. And that's where you're improving their vision, their thinking, and how they should really go with, that they're in a space where they are needed. That's the other part. The worst thing can happen is when we are trying to sell a product and feel that we shouldn't be there in the middle. That's where the problem comes. And it I've seen in my students, by the way, Tiffany, in my, academy, students sometimes don't have the self-image, self-confidence to be a good syndicator because they say, oh, I'll buy the deal. I'll get the money. I shouldn't make much acquisition fee. We call it acquisition fee and other fees and all that. So they kind of, hum and haw. And I say, you are an important part of the deal. That's how we should look at that. So I'm going to give it to your hands and kind of tell us why you feel that way and how you're changing the world.
Yeah, so great point. And so much of what we do in our lives, in our career is no different than what we do on Saturday, Sunday with our family. How we show up in one way is how we show up in our, the other way as well. 9 times out of 10, right? There's studies that have been shown that how you show up with your boss is the same way that you show up with your kids or anything. There's so much in this market right now that's needed to be talked about with mindset because lenders right now are down, realtors are down, businesses down. And what we need to understand is that it's not the market, it's the marketing or the lack of marketing. All we have to do is find more ways to get more market share. Mm-hmm. And that's the mindset we want to be on. So how do we do that? We do that by serving our community, by giving value. I just saw Barbara from Shark Tank. Yeah, I'm sure you're well aware of who she is. You probably are friends with her, Vinney, knowing you, right? So she's really been growing on me, and I've been watching a lot of her social media. And this morning she did a video that said, pick your poison. And I was like, what is this? I love the hook. She said, either clients or, people that are renting, they're saying that, oh, well, rates are too high. Well, guess what? When rates go down, all hell's going to break loose. People are going to be fighting over houses. Values are going to go through the roof because rates go down. So pick your poison. Do you want to stay renting and complain about rates being high, or get in the game, buy the real estate, and then refinance, marry the house, date the rate, refinance when the rates go down? Or do you want to stay renting until rates go down? Now you're against 20 other people and you're a first-time home buyer with 3% down or something. And it's just, you're putting yourself in a really painful position if you stay stuck in the renting cycle. And that's why us lenders and us in real estate in general, and me as a mortgage coach, have to drive the point home that the market, you just have to go out there and educate and get people confident. We are so important in this market more than ever because, right? More than ever, because we've got to get that education and value and make people feel comfortable owning real estate.
For sure. No, 100% right, 100%, because it all starts with the mindset. I mean, if you think you are not important, then probably you won't really change that. But once you make up your think it, we do, we act, how our thoughts are. Just like when I wrote the book, Positivity book, the more positive thoughts we have in a small brain of ours, we will be giving energy out, positive energy. And
I saw something on yesterday. Sorry, Vinney, about changing the script for yourself. So if you wake up in the morning and you feel that you don't have enough time in the day, don't have enough energy, you have all these half-done projects, you're never getting anywhere, their to-do list is bigger than your day. And if you just take 30 seconds in the morning to get your mind right, as a lender, as no matter where you are, any kind of entrepreneur, especially, because we've got to keep that go-getter inside of us, our mind right, you change the script. I actually happen to have it right here. 30 seconds every morning, recalibrate your brain, and you say, thank you. I trust that I have all the time and the power I need to live out my purpose. Now, if you do that every morning and you change the script and you know your importance that you have on this earth and in your career, it's just going to make the stress is going to go down. Your productivity is going to go through the roof.
So true. So true. I do like the miracle morning. I know a lot of people have heard me saying that you do it also, to really pay gratitude. right in the morning and make sure that you're alive and well, have coffee and exercise or yoga. And then you're able to get into the whole day, who you're going to meet, and send positive vibes and think through everybody's situation so that you can be present when we are giving demos on the Zoom or talking to them on the phone, all those things. So aligning ourselves to the true north, I call it, like Stephen Covey talks about, but it's so important that we prepare ourselves for success, right? Recalibrate, just like you said. We have to recalibrate. And if we are not motivated at 10 o'clock, something is wrong, or 8 o'clock. And then we need to just take time out and relook at, okay, why I'm not excited and what needs to happen so that I can bring that oomph and the enthusiasm. Because we get paid for speaking, truly, and we want to make sure that we do not do anything in our power to take away that energy. Because when we communicate with our prospects or investors, in my case, and all these customers, clients, we need to be fully charged and communicate with passion why we want them to buy our service.
Yeah, you can be grateful or grumpy in life. When you're grateful, things grow and you're getting it back 10 times over. When you're grumpy, it just defines you. Yeah. And you're just known as a grumpy person. And, us in the real estate industry, if we're looking for the transaction just to make the money, it will turn to dust in your hands faster than you can blink. But if you're doing it from a place of gratitude and service and knowing the power of real estate and how much you can make in this industry, or just as a first-time home buyer, you can have $1,000 in your savings account, buy a house with very little down, and have $250,000 a few years later when the market turns. It's quite an amazing thing that we do in our industry. But in this market right now, I know there's a lot of people that are suffering and they're feeling the hit and they're feeling like, oh my God, this is a recession and I'm never going to own real estate, or I might make a bad deal and lose my money, and I'm doing self-directed IRAs. And what if this doesn't, all these things of why it won't work. We have to just keep telling ourselves all the ways that it can work instead of can't work.
I'm so glad you're saying that. Tiffany, the thing is, I've been in sales, you've been in sales my whole life. The key thing is I always look at the ratio of numbers. You got to hit the ball so many times and get so many no's before the yes will come. Yeah. So with the economy where it is now, with a lot of people kind of uncertain, we have to increase the no's, just program ourselves. If I were getting a yes after 5 demos, it might be now 10 demos and we'll get a yes. But we got to really be looking at that. We need to increase the activity, the calls, we call it, appointment setting. All those things are so, so, so important in anybody's business. Every business needs the marketing and sales department to bring the revenues. Of course, you can take the old clients and then renew them, but we need to be feeding from the new leads and so on. So tell us about it. In your course, you're really revolutionizing. And I know you had such great webinars. So take us there. Would you please? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the digital marketing is in a lot of ways, especially in real estate and lending, it's an untapped way to reach more people. I always talk about marketing one-to-many versus one-to-one. One-to-one is the chasing the agent to have coffee, you buy him coffee, him or her, and maybe they use you, maybe they don't, maybe they don't even have enough business because you didn't research them well. That's one-to-one. When you do one-to-many, or you're harnessing Facebook is like wicked smart. It's scary. I mean, you could look up one time I looked up pink crib cushion on Google, and on my Facebook, it showed up like all these pink crib cushions. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Everything's interconnected. So imagine if you're a lender, real estate agent, what you teach your students, running those Facebook ads. Yeah, you get a bunch of no's. People opt in for a free webinar. Some people don't show up, but the numbers are tried and true. There's a 20% show up rate. And from that, 25 to 35% of the people buy go to the next stage, and then 20% end up being coached by me. So I figured out the formula, and you're exactly right that how many no's you get. No's are just people that pass by your ad and they don't opt in, or they run out of time, they don't show up, they lost the Zoom link. It's a numbers game. So the more you market on one-to-many and you give value and you serve and you educate, people can feel that. Everything is energy. So I truly believe that the reason why my cost per lead is so low, because some people's are converting at $38, $50 a lead. Mine are like $2.21 to $8, because I'm putting in that value and that energy of service and love, and how much impact I want to help my fellow mortgage peeps with. So when I put that out there and you're getting the opt-ins, I teach my students to do the same exact thing. If you aren't up on video and educating instead of saying buy my thing, and learning how to run Facebook ads properly, you're going to fall behind. You're stuck in the old school mentality of chasing and burning out.
So true what you just said.
That's my long answer.
No, I love it. I totally love it, because we got to have the service by need attitude. And along with that, earnings come by product. I always say that. If we help enough people get what they want, in our case, in my case, syndication, in your case, loans, then we will get what we want. I mean, literally. Then the other thought in my mind is, if I'm not able to do a good job to educate my investors, because that is the best thing for their diversification and to get higher returns, then I'm at fault. I'm not communicating it right with good plan and education to share with them why this is the best product for them, right? Same thing in your business. So in your business, having that zeal and excitement and everything, but asking the buyers or showing them both ways, the lender over here and the buyer, both of them, really educating them. So take it from there. How do the lender brokers perceive what they should be doing in the social media? Kind of take us there a little bit.
Yeah. We've somewhere along the line, us in the mortgage lending industry, and, even realtors in some ways have been taught to be like app takers, order takers, and forgot how to market. Realtors do it much better than us. And when you're relying on a realtor to give us the business, you're just basically have your hand out and hoping. You can't scale your business. You're just hoping the realtor that you're connected with, that likes you and trusts you and wants to give you their next lead, you're banking on the fact that they actually know how to market. Yeah. So the where I'm changing the game is going around, doing the Facebook ad, grabbing, serving, and giving value to the community, getting that lead. We should be the first one that they go to. We're the ones that have the money. The house is one thing, but you're not ready to make an offer on the house till you got the money right. So I give my realtors business now. And what's so cool about it is I'm giving it to the ones that I love working with. Before it was a little painful, because you're taking whoever's giving you leads, you're like putting up with their stuff, and they're crossing boundaries and calling you Saturday night at 8:00. And now I can lay out boundaries because I'm the one giving the business. Yes. I've figured out how to go direct to consumer. But to your point of, what do you value? What do you talk about on social media? I always tell my students, bridge the gap where people are and where people want to get to. So if you know that they're renting and they're first-time home buyers, they know it, we know it. You know that their end goal is how to buy a house. But all the messy middle, they don't know what kind of credit score. Do I need 20% down? My credit's 636. I thought I have to have a 780. I don't know. I didn't know gift funds were available. Oh, my parents can co-sign. They don't have to live in the place. When you educate and you bridge the gap between where people are and where you know their end goal and you fill it in for them, you're a problem solver. You're a mind reader. Someone's watching that video on social media going, oh my goodness, I was just stressing about how am I ever going to come up with 20% down? And good old Vinney or Tiffany Rose shows up on my video and says, hey, top 3 misconceptions of buying a house as a first-time home buyer. No, you don't need 20% down. No, you don't need perfect credit. Yes, you can give funds from a family member. It's like you're just solve that person's problem and you make them feel like you're speaking directly to them. That's how you get the business, and that's how you get out of that old school chasing mentality.
Love it, love it, love it. I mean, this social media and Facebook ads and YouTube ads and Instagram ads, all over. I mean, this is where some companies are behind and some are cutting edge and moving faster and faster so that they could really capture. Somebody told me that, Vinney, your next 20 customers are not in your Rolodex. That's so interesting. They said these will be the people, your students in your academy who don't know you anywhere at all, but you're able to approach them and share with them what tremendous, academy and master coaching and everything I do or my team helps me to do. So that is the key thing. What you're saying is same thing with your loans. These buyers are everywhere, everywhere. And there are some who are saying it's too high interest rate. And then just like you gave the Barbara Cochrane's example, the prices will go up. They have to. So it's the catch up of high interest rates, but there are other avenues where there can be low interest rates also, isn't it? FHAs and others, I'm not much familiar with that, but SBA loans for businesses and all. I mean, you can give all these kind of loans. But
well, I think, all of us my daughter can do a TikTok in 5 seconds. It'd take me 5 days. But you and I, where we're really good, and Bo and some of the people in our mastermind group together, where we're really good is we just basically tell ourselves we're good at technology. We're figuring this out. If we can't figure it out, we're going to figure out who, not how, but who can help us do it with us. Every lender and realtor right now, your students, everyone should be like raising their right arm and saying, and right hand and saying, I am good at technology. There's no more excuses of, I don't know what to say on social media. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I only have 100 followers. Getting out of your own way, growing your network, understanding what hooks are, value, call to actions, proper use of call to actions, and becoming decent at social media and being decent at technology. That's going to be the game changer for anybody that's in our realm. Because let's face it, most lenders, most realtors are not doing what you and I are doing, where we have funnels and calendar links and, book a call here and we're talking on YouTube and we have podcasts. We're doing all of these things. All you have to be is like just a little bit better than your competitor and you're going to win every time. And let me tell you, the bar is not very high in the real estate and lending industry.
Wow. He just opened up something really, really strong. My partner, Farouk, and I are working on a special software in Go High Level. And actually, he's perfected it and he's making $30,000 a month, literally. And what he's doing is he's generating leads for businesses through the funnels. And he's got outbound calling, so that he's able to get the people, could be any business, or I think he's more in the real estate, I thought, but maybe not in lending side yet. But I was sharing with him, I said, I'll be interviewing you, Tiffany, and then maybe we'll hook up together to see how maybe, there could be some partnership, or something we could do. Because the big thing I find in a salesperson's career is if the appointments are there, good appointments, they'll close them. But to find those good appointments, it takes a lot of effort and everything. So it's one thing to say cold calling, but I love what you just said. By advertising, social media is where you're going to get more leads come in. That's the best way. You're right.
Yeah. If you think about all the people out there that are in their careers and you don't even know what they're doing for a living because they don't talk about it on social media. If you're out there saying, hey, I'm a car salesman, and guess what? I am not the typical car salesman. Here's what I do, and here's how I serve my community. Here's how I help my clients get into the best car that's right for them. Here's top 3 things, the way I serve. Imagine if the car salesman down the street, don't you think their friends and their family would start to know them, like them, trust them? And they're going to be top of mind when they want to buy a car, instead of waltzing into the car dealership and hope you don't get like some sleazeball, right? So everybody, every entrepreneur, I don't care if you're in human resources and you're W-2'd, you should be harnessing social media to talk about your business and how you serve. It's going to get you business every single time.
I totally agree with you. 1,000%. 1,000. As we wrap up, let's talk about mindset again. So give me some pointers, for the audience. I hope you really like the nuggets that Tiffany has been throwing, and everything. And please like us, give us 5-star reviews and written reviews. Please do on iTunes, Stitcher. We really appreciate that. Now, tell us.
I love talking about the mindset. I mean, obviously, I love social media and the power of video. You know that I've been talking about that. I talk a mile a minute, but really it all starts with the mindset. I would not be where I am today if I didn't continue to have the attitude. I'll give the audience the example. If you feel like I gave you a fire hose of information, all you have to do is pick like one thing and do it now, do it now, do it now. William Clement Stone, that funded Think and Grow Rich book with Napoleon Hill. He used to live on like a skyscraper. And when he would go take the elevator down to the lobby, he would say 100 times while the elevator was going down, he'd say, do it now, do it now, do it now. The biggest thing you can do for yourself to get your mind right is become an absolute doer. When you have an idea, like Mel Robbins says, you have 5 seconds to act on it or else it could go away. So I tell myself, my daughter the other day said, Mom, you're so crazy, because I was in front of my computer going, do it now, do it now, do it now. Because I caught myself procrastinating on something that I didn't really know how to do it. And I'm like, why am I procrastinating? Why is this stressing me out? I'm like, because it's something new. I'm learning. And I told myself, Tiff, when you're 99 years old, will this really matter that you tried this and it felt a little stressful? No. So I said, I have 11 minutes. I'm going to do it now. And she heard me saying it and she just looked at me and said, Mom, you're so crazy. But doing everything at that moment, instead of writing it down on the to-do list and making it future forward, that ever running to-do list we feel like we can't ever get to. If you start doing little shifts, small hinges move big doors. So little things you can do in that present moment to move yourself forward, that's what's going to create your future. Instead, I heard something, I don't know if you heard this too, Vinney, so maybe you can shed a little light, but I saw something on social media the other day that the most successful people don't run on to-do lists.
Yes.
Because it makes you think about the overwhelm and it celebrates that overwhelm. So you feel like you get more of it and it's too future thinking. So you do nothing in the present because now you're looking at this thing going, there's no way I could possibly do it. So if you just do one thing right then and go all in and focus on it, that's going to be those small, tiny things that we move that's going to help us reach our big, audacious goals. And so I keep going with the mindset piece on that because that's been my number one thing is do it now. So if the audience takes nothing else away, get off the phone right now. If you get one, do that one thing that's been bugging you. Yes. Vinney, I love your timer. I hope you bust that out.
I would love to go that again because that's the future. That's tomorrow. That's day after tomorrow. That's next week, next month, next life. No, not next life. But then this is the past. This over here, when the time passes through the present, it becomes past. It's so indelible that we live in the past in the moment, like you're saying, Tiffany, right? I mean, we need to totally focus on the present and do it now. Like, Mel says, 1, 2, 3, do it now. Or let's get it done. I think I've heard that also. Let's get it done. 1, 2, 3, let's get it done. Don't worry about it. Don't overthink. Don't paralyze with all the negatives because what we think about, what's going to happen in the future, how it's going to happen, how people are going to look at me and all that stuff. 92%, 94% of the negative thoughts never happen.
Yes.
Negative things we think they will happen in the future never happen because what we need to really look at right now through our life is present. Be present, just like Eckhart Tolle says, right? Power of now, power of now.
And it's good enough to move on. A lot of us are perfectionists for the way we're raised or whatever our circumstances are. And I always tell myself, do it now and good enough to move on. Get good enough to move on. Just do it. You get master repetition. You get better and better at it. But you just got so many people get ready and they get ready to aim and they don't fire. You just got to keep keep firing and firing and firing and going. And my videos started becoming better. My interview skills got better. My questions, hopefully now I'm better than I was when we first started talking maybe 3-4 years ago or whatever it was. And it's just, master repetition. You just got to keep going in the present moment. And all of a sudden, you're rich. All of a sudden.
Yes. I always say that what you want to become one day, you're in the process of becoming today. I learned it from a great mentor of mine, Spencer Hayes. I talk about him, a billionaire, multi-billionaire who passed away at 80, but he really kind of taught so many great principles to our whole leadership. I was connected with that company. The key thing is, what you want to become one day, this moment, you are becoming incrementally that person. So you got to start having the right mindset and live in the present, not in the past. Learn from the past. And then don't think too much about the future. Set goals and everything. But what's more important is today, this hour, this minute, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Because if we are living in the present, the future will take care of it.
Progress equals happiness. You got to enjoy the journey, or else you get there, you're 100 years old and you go, wow, I worried my whole life away. So progress equals happiness. That's my takeaway.
I love that. That's so wonderful. It's so nice to have you on the podcast. And
thank you.
Thank you for everything. How can people reach you? Yeah. And tell us.
Yeah. So go to tiffanyrosecoaching.com/invincible. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a mortgage lender, it works for, entrepreneurs across the board. So it's a live virtual event that I do once a month. And this upcoming one is going to be next week. I don't know when this is going to air, but it's June 20th through 22nd, but look out for it. Go to tiffanyrosecoaching.com/invincible. And I help everybody, give 15 hours of coaching for $47. That's it. And I teach hooks and call to actions and done for you scripts and the power of service and love for your product or service and how to just attract business and not chase. So check it out. I would love to see you there. And thank you for having me. I love you, Vinney.
Thank you. Thank you, Tiffany. It's such a pleasure. You have so much great energy. And I'm so happy to see, because you live in my town in Danville.
Yes.
We live not too far, and we have met at Blackhawk Plaza a few times and recorded. We do it. I just came down with throat. I didn't want to give it to you. So that's why I wanted to do it from the Zoom. But we'll get together and,
yes, we will.
Something. But
I'll buy you a glass of wine.
Yes. God bless you. And thank you, everybody, for watching us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.